change. And what is that change, you might ask? Well, lately I just haven't been feeling right. And it all stems around my health. No, I'm not sick, but I am kind of a fat ass. So I'm gonna make a change. I'm gonna start exercising. I'm gonna start eating healthier. That was a tough one, but it's something that needs to happen. And how am I going to do that? Well, part of it is I'm going to ask you guys for help. The other part is, well, I just need to buckle down and start doing it. But there are some things that I'm going to incorporate to make that change happen. And today, we're going to go over a few of those things and why I chose those things to try and get healthy. They may not be right for everybody. They may not be something you're into, but maybe you might be interested in how this plays out. I hope that each and every one of you sees that change, appreciates that change, and if you see it in yourself a little bit, maybe you can make that change as well. So I'm kind of hoping we go on this journey together and make something happen. So what are the things I'm going to incorporate into my life or change about my life to get myself healthy? Well, first and foremost, the cigars are not going anywhere, neither's the bourbon. So I need to figure out a way around that and still make this whole thing work. So there's a few things that I decided to do and continue to do and get better at doing to help me get healthy. So first, a little bit of background as to why I want to get healthy is that over the last few years, I've noticed a kind of a deterioration in my body and my health in general. I've gained a considerable amount of weight, at least what I consider a considerable amount of weight. So I've also noticed that I don't have the flexibility or mobility that I used to have. Now I can still walk and do everything that I used to do, I'm just a lot slower at it. And it's getting tougher for me to bend down or pick things up, and just everyday things are a little bit more of a struggle, and I want to lessen that and make it easier for me to do those things. I recently had an issue a couple years ago where I had severe lower back pain and ended up being a pinched sciatic nerve. The first on that list would be riding my bicycle. Now, I know that seems kind of like an adolescent thing, is to ride your bike, but overall, riding your bicycle or riding a bicycle is probably one of the best ways to take care of yourself, to get into shape, and to stay active. There's a lot of benefits to it. And because of me being over 50, matter of fact, this month I will be 55. So happy birthday to me. Going to the doctor, MRIs, things like that, we found that I have degenerative disc disorder or something to that effect. And that's what's causing the pinched nerve in my sciatic region, or whatever they call it. So I started riding a bicycle, and that kind of helped. But then after not getting where I wanted to be, we ended up having to do not one, but 2 epidurals to take care of that pain. Now, it's been a couple years and it has gotten better, but it hasn't gone away completely. So these are the things that I want to do in order to help alleviate that. It helped overall with my pain and a little bit more of my mobility. It was able to help with my heart rate, my breathing, and even with my stamina. But it wasn't quite enough. So then I also started just working a little bit harder and trying to move all the time. And the reason I chose riding a bike is there's a very low risk for injury. It's great for your heart and muscles and your cardiovascular system. So these are the things that are probably the first step to getting healthy, is helping alleviate those pains and then increasing your stamina, increasing your flexibility. These are the things that need to be done when you're someone who's over 50. And on top of that, cycling is also very good for building and preserving muscles. As we age, we lose muscle. It's a process called sarcopenia. I think I'm pronouncing that right. If not, sorry, look it up. And this can lead people to falling and less able to live independently. Exercise helps slow that process down. Cycling is also good for your glutes or your ass. It just is. It also helps increase the muscle size in your legs. And if you ask my wife, I've kind of lost my ass over the years. I don't know if that's a jab at the way I look or if it's something else. But cycling is also good for your back and your core. It can also help you maintain balance as well. Another thing that I really do like about it is that when I go to ride, I go to what we call the quarry. It's a recreational park area that used to be a quarry that they filled in with a little bit of a lake there. And just getting out into the outdoors and riding and seeing trees and a lake and other people around is good for your mental health as well. It's really kind of helped me just kind of forget about the day that I had before that wasn't such a great day at my full-time job, or stresses of other daily life, things like that that really weigh on us. And it just kind of helps clear your mind. It's a great pastime, and it really has helped me. So consider getting into bicycling. Now, one recommendation I would have is start slow. Don't think you're going to go out and do RAGBRAI. And if you don't know what RAGBRAI is, it's where you ride across Iowa in a week. It's insane. I don't know that I'll ever get to that point. Kind of cool, but I think I'll just stick to doing what I'm doing right now. So, and another tip would be that don't settle on the Walmart special bike. If you're going to buy one, drop a little bit of coin and get a good bike. Now, it doesn't have to be a $4,000 or $5,000 or $12,000 bicycle, but spend some time doing some research, find the bike that you think you like, and then go ride it, test ride it. You're going to find whether that bike fits you or not. And there's different sizes that you have to deal with to make that size the perfect fit. Some bike shops will even custom fit the bike to you by moving the bars up and down, the seat up and down, different things like that. And they will help fit that bike to you so it is extremely comfortable, and then you'll get the full enjoyment out of it. So don't forget, don't buy cheap on this one, okay? Now the other ones they're gonna be a lot less expensive to get into, but don't cheap out on the bike. You're gonna be disappointed and you're gonna quit because you won't be happy with them. Now the next thing that I did is, and you're gonna laugh at me, but don't, just don't, hear me out on this one. I started doing yoga. I know, yoga. It's the yoga pants, it's actually none of that. So just get that stuff out of your mind and think about all the benefits that come from yoga. And let me start by saying that this one is actually the cheapest to get into, because really you don't need any accessories. I mean, you can do it in your house. You don't have to buy special clothes. You don't have to buy any special shoes, anything like that. If you want, you can buy a yoga mat. And I mean, they're less than 20 bucks. So if that's something you think you need. Now, I did buy a yoga mat, and it did make things a lot nicer to work from. It's just a little bit of cushion, but I mean, you could probably find something else, or fold up a towel, or put a blanket down, something like that if you want. It's a little bit of cushioning, but it does kind of help things. Now, and the reason why I decided to start doing yoga was to help with that flexibility. I noticed that even riding my bike wasn't giving me the full range of motion that I wanted. It wasn't really helping the joints of my body when I would do other things, working on mine or my boys' cars, or working in the yard. It helped with my stamina. It helped me breathe a little bit better, and it just wasn't everything that I thought it was going to be. It did help, but not everything that I wanted it to be. So when I started doing yoga, it really was not what I expected. It's a lot harder than you think, and it really helped me concentrate on balance and used my own body weight as a way to help build and strengthen muscles, joints, everything. There's so many benefits to it. Just like riding your bike, it helps with your posture. It helps with your core. It helps with flexibility and mobility. Like, it's great cardiovascular. Again, helps with balance. And these are all things that we lose over time as we get older. And by doing these exercises, this helps slow or stop, in some cases, that process. It's super beneficial. And I suggest either looking up on YouTube. There's plenty of yoga instructors on YouTube that will help and show you the different exercises. Start with a basic and move up to your more advanced poses, things like that. If you want something a little more hands-on or a little more one-on-one, you could look at your local YMCA or your local gym and see if they have any yoga classes you could take. These will also be very beneficial. From what I understand, I've not done this, the people that are in them are very, very nice, very, very helpful, and they will be such a benefit to your yoga training that you could go a long way with it. And again, it's another one of those helping with your mental health as well. Now, we're going to talk about the third thing. And what's that third thing that I'm talking about? Well, this one's just fun. And the next one is playing disc golf. Now, I know some of you might think that that might be a little bit silly, but I've really enjoyed it. It was something that I played several years ago and got out of, and I'm getting back into it. And you can start off slow. You don't have to have a ton of discs to go out and play. There's starter kits you can buy, and they're fairly inexpensive. Also, pretty much every place, if you have a park, has a disc golf course. There's multiples all over every state, and it doesn't even have to be a big course to play. Small courses are very fun to play as well. Kind of got out of it because I hurt my back and it wasn't fun to play anymore. So now that my back is better, I started playing again, and I'm really having fun with it. And as you progress, your strength, your stamina, your cardiovascular, your breathing, everything just gets better because of it. Because you have to walk from hole to hole just like you do in golf, unless of course you're like me and you rent a cart and real golf. But again, it's just getting back outside and enjoying your surroundings. If there happens to be a club or a league where you live at that course, ask to meet up with them on their league days, and you'll get out and meet a bunch of great people who are going to help you. And maybe as you progress, you might be able to borrow a disc or two from them to see if that's one that you want to buy. So don't discount that part. You can find friends to play with, and it's just a good time. I mean, at least give it a try. It's not really that expensive, and it is a lot of fun. It's challenging, it's frustrating, but it is a lot of fun. And probably the biggest struggle for me is the one where I'm going to need the most help in figuring out how to deal with it and how to do it. And that's my diet. Because of the job that I have full time, it takes me to a lot of different places across Iowa, and I never know where I'm going to be necessarily and where there are places to eat. So finding healthy food is going to be tough. And I know what you are thinking, Chad, why don't you just pack your lunch and take it with you? That's not always as easy as you think it is. And two, during shutdown, I was only ever able to eat in my work vehicle, and that really drove me nuts. So for me, going and getting away from that, getting away from my laptop, was something that I needed. And I found that I've needed to maintain that part for my sanity. Otherwise, it just wasn't a good thing. So trying to find healthier options at the places I eat, and even healthy options when I get home. And you combine that with me having hypoglycemia, that makes it even tougher. If you don't know what hypoglycemia is, it's similar to diabetes in the fact that my blood sugar will just randomly drop if I don't have something in my stomach, and I could pass out. It's not a good thing. It's not fun. It's not easy. But it's just something I have to deal with. So my go-to has been chips. That's not a good, healthy option. I get it. I'm even considering taking, say, baby carrots or celery or something in a cooler with me to work, so that gives me a healthy option to snack on instead of the crap food. I mean, I'm really kind of tired of getting called Biker Santa just because, well, I'm the same shape as Santa. Well, it kind of hurts. So with that said, these are the things that I'm going to try and incorporate. These are the things that I need to change. But I need your help. I need you to hold me accountable. Today is March 9th. Saturday, March 9th, 2024. I'm currently at 229.2. Now, I'm not setting a goal. It's not that I want to be at this weight at this day, but I want you to hold me accountable that I do ride my bike, I do yoga, I go and play disc golf, and I watch what I eat to some degree. Because having a support system is going to help. Just do your best. It's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try, and we're going to see how this works. So I know this wasn't the video that anybody was expecting. It's probably not going to do very good in the algorithm. And, well, I probably won't get a whole lot of views on it. But it is a segment that I'm going to continue to have at least once a month to show some updates, to show some progress, to maybe encourage others to get healthy, especially those of you that are over 50, because it's a bigger struggle for us than it is for the 20-somethings. And you 20-somethings, if I could go back in time and anyway, that's kind of my point, is I'm not trying to go back in time, and I'm not trying to stop the progress of time, but I do want to try and hold it at bay for as long as I can. So if I can get your help, I'd greatly appreciate it. So thank each and every one of you. I'm not going to say what I normally say because it doesn't seem fitting here, but I hope all of you have an incredible day and take 2024 by the balls and start working on your health. It's good for everybody. Love each and every one of you. Thanks a lot. Bye.